Friendship supreme. Friendship supreme. Finding the geek within.
Hey everybody, my name is Michael.
My name's Cleve.
And welcome to a jolly episode of Friendship.
Great.
One of the podcasts that dares to ask, what's the best Christmas movie that came out this year?
Still looking.
Still looking. What movie did we watch today, Cleve?
We watched Candy Cane Lane
Candy
with
Cane.
the... Do you know how old he is now?
Old as shit. 62, that's my guess.
I believe 60. So you aged him up a bit, but yeah.
He's looking it.
But also like not, right? Like still maybe 50
Yeah.
you would buy, I think.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
And Tracy Ellis Ross, who I always really enjoy too.
Yeah, I enjoyed pretty much the whole cast of this one. We watched Candy Cane Lane. You already said it. Never mind. Don't worry about it. We're here. We're doing it.
Cool. What's a movie I saw?
I'm now gonna have to watch it every year because my wife is obsessed with it. She genuinely has replaced every other Christmas movie. This is her number one now, for forever.
That's a lot. I guess what was it before this?
Probably Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, fair. Swap.
Probably.
I'm sure that benefits you.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I didn't mind this movie. This movie was kind of funny, but she did keep yelling at me the whole time we were watching it. Why aren't you laughing? And I'm like, that makes it less enjoyable for me to laugh. I don't want to laugh when you're like, hey, why aren't you laughing?
Just let it come over me. Don't force it on me.
And then one time I laughed and she was excited because I finally laughed at one of the jokes.
Let me tell you, I'll go ahead and just a little ahead of time spoiler right now. I personally find Chris Red hilarious.
But every time.
And I don't know if it's the way he delivers lines or if he's writing his own lines, because he always comes off like the same feel. But boy, that man kept getting me, and I couldn't even catch myself. Not like I was trying to not enjoy it, but like every time this man said something, I was like, "Fuck."
I really appreciated his character. I enjoyed it a lot.
Maybe it's because it's a Christmas ornament being like fucking freaky and shit, or I don't know. But
I love that all of the ornaments look so much like, or not, whatever they are, little figurines. They look so much like their actor or actresses that I knew it was Nick Offerman, but refused to believe it was Nick Offerman because it was such a bad accent.
I was like, because they made him do a terrible accent, he probably could just focus himself.
He said the word "gov" enough times to make me vomit. I watched it and I was like, if he says it one more time, and I think I was halfway in, and he just kept going.
And isn't it?
Isn't it? I do. That is my favorite word that the British people have given us. My favorite slang is "isn't it," because it just I just shove it in there all the time now.
I was like, I know this is Chris Offerman. Why are they making him speak like this? Was this his choice? Did he lose a bet? Was he like, I bet I could do this whole accent? And they just they really want me in this movie. But like, you don't even get to enjoy him in the movie. And I also knew, I can't remember their name. I knew it was that fucking acapella group. I knew it right away.
The moment they started singing, I looked at my wife and said, "Can Pentatonics get the fuck out of every holiday special, please?"
So I think they're great.
They're talented. Very talented. They're super talented.
I can enjoy them.
Yeah.
I don't like when they're forced on me.
And it's every corner you take.
And if I don't search for you, is when I'm like,
I will say
this fucking group.
The iconic Roger Rabbit shaving a haircut scene was beautiful, though. the whole like that's all I could think of when she was doing it. But the Pepper was walking around singing one of the carols, knowing that Pentatonics had to finish the sentence.
Yeah.
I also imagine
that
that
was
that's what it's like going to any party with them ever.
So
You know, Cleve gets so annoyed when we're streaming and stuff. Cleve gets really frustrated because he'll say a single word and it'll trigger a song in my head and I'll start singing it for no reason. And I imagine that
sometimes
they
I do it on purpose because I know how weak you are about it.
I am so weak, and I just imagine that they do it, but like in a more pretentious way, right? Like I know I'm terrible at singing, and I'm ashamed of it, but it is what it is. But they are just belting it out at all times.
I'm surprised they weren't in Marbles in the world where everybody had to sing what they were doing.
Yeah, they may be. We have to look now.
So this movie, I just want to break down real quick.
Yeah,
because
break it down.
It's Christmas time.
Christmas time.
Our lead actor Eddie Murphy, Chris, loses his job.
Carver's.
He comes home and he finds out that the King contest could give you $100,000 if you win.
Sure could.
Great, we're super excited. And then he goes to the store that's selling things because he makes all his own things. But now he's decided I need to step it up, which the fact of quality over quantity does not speak any louder than it does in this moment here, where I'm like, yeah, doesn't matter how good a product you put out, bud. Fucking, you got the money, you're winning. But anyway,
I mean, he yelled that at his daughter at one point when they're driving.
But I was just like, man, I'm already identifying with this character real hard right now. Anyway, so he buys from this sketchy underpass fucking
would have never stepped in there.
And he signs this really long receipt, and it turns out that he signed a deal where he's got to collect golden rings, and if he doesn't, he gets turned into a Christmas, I'm gonna say ornament, decoration.
Yeah,
I don't know, figurine.
Yep.
And immediately I started thinking to myself, so is there like two writers, and one of them started the story, and then one of them decided to end the story? Because it could have been, I mean, son was struggling in school, dad got fired, daughter's going to college, youngest is getting a little bit older. Like, there's enough of a small core Christmas story right there. But then we went and said, guess what? An elf's trying to take your life.
Yeah.
It was just really weird. I guess you don't.
That's what made it Christmas, though.
It's not how it started, I guess. Nobody's surprised Santa exists. No one questions that part.
No.
Okay. Non-believer? The whole movie? That's the Christmas story.
One point in time, the wife didn't believe him when he was showing him all the he was showing her all the figurines, was like, this is what's going on. And she's like, no, let's call the cops. And I'm like, at this point, you're past that. You now have magical beings in your garage talking to you. Where are we on this? And it did only take her a couple of seconds to really come to realization of like how crazy it would sound if you tried to call the cops and say, hey, this is what's going on.
That was the most fight you got.
Yeah.
That's weird. Yeah, no, we believe it though.
Well, okay, and so if you're ready, I don't know if you're ready for me to start tearing this whole movie apart. I did like it, but okay, so there's at first it dawned on me the premise that would have made the most sense and worked the best would have been because it was Christmas or Santa magic that Pepper's using. Peppermint. Pepper is the name of the evil elf.
God, I knew it was Peppermint, and I was so annoyed that we tried to keep it under wraps.
The only thing that would have made a lot of this make sense is if nobody else could see it unless they had signed the contract.
That would have been logical to me.
Right. And when they were at the at one point in time, they're at the track meet for his daughter, and nobody is reacting to anything going on other than him. They're all reacting to the fact that he's on there, but like nobody's like appalled at the fact that there's all these men jumping around trying to attack people. Because the Leaping Lords are just going to town.
The scout being like, I saw a bunch of violations out there. I'm like, did you see the man bump me?
Right. And that was like the whole thing was like nobody acknowledged that was going on. So until later on when the drum line started drumming off with the other drummers, nobody had really interacted with each other. And so the whole time you could have been like, oh shit, the Carvers are fucking nuts. They're reacting to all this shit going on. We don't know what's going on. Even when like the chickens were in the wife's factory, the people didn't act like they saw the chickens. They just were like reacting to her. Because I'm going to tell you now, if I saw just chickens running around, I'd be like, this is fucking weird. We need to solve this issue. I'm not like, oh, stupid operations manager. I'm like, holy shit, how did fucking chickens get in this building?
Yeah.
So, like, nobody reacted to this until the very end. And I was like, that would have made this whole movie make sense if somehow you told me nobody could see this because it was Christmas magic. And that never got to happen.
Yeah.
In the very beginning of this film, Eddie Murphy gets fired. Chris gets fired. And he tries to talk to his wife about it. His wife calls and is getting not even the promotion at the time. She's just getting endorsed for the promotion.
For a promotion, yeah.
Right. And she's calling and she's super excited. He's like, that's great. I really need to talk to you about something. And she's like, yeah. And she keeps going on about her thing. And he says, no, I really need to talk to you about something. And she's like, oh, I actually have to go. And then hangs up. And then she gets home and he's like, hey, I really need to talk to you about something. And she just keeps going. If you have been married to your partner for this long and you don't read the physical body language of your partner and know shit, something's wrong, I'm questioning everything about your marriage.
I will say, I mean, because you don't get to see how much time like they were together at the house or whatever. They were just both ready to go. I mean, if you're just super caught up in your own thing, you might not see it. I would be interesting for her to not have had good news while he had bad news, and see if you got the same result.
Yeah.
There's a part. I'm trying to think about like the parts that I like. There was a part where he was talking about his youngest daughter. He was like, "Oh, Holly's old enough to realize," and then he doesn't say it. And I guess I kind of like that because you don't say on a movie that Santa's not real and the kids watch it. But also, like, I guess, like I was saying before, no one's surprised Santa was there. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, nobody react in the end scene because Santa shows up, right? So this whole ordeal is that the youngest daughter like risks the security of the home and lets Pepper in because when she leaves, Pepper comes in or whatever, or the security system's been turned off. But she leaves so that she can deliver her letter to Santa Claus. And Santa Claus then at the very end shows up to save the day. Sort of. And it's David Alan Grier, who's just fantastic. Love him.
I'll accept any universe that makes that man Santa.
And he shows up and nobody reacts to anything. Nobody in the background acknowledges
Santa, we
anything.
love you.
Like nobody acknowledges anything. It's just like their day is going on. Because even when they fly off in his sled, everybody's just kind of like, "All right, bye," and then gets right back to their own business. I don't know if you saw the at the end. Did you watch the credits? Because they had a couple bloopers, and it was fantastic when Eddie Murphy said, "I bet White Santa could fix this shit," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's a solid. That's good."
Did you hear David Alan Grier's reply to that?
No.
He was like, I bet White Santa could fix this. He goes, "Man, why you do me like that?"
It was good.
And him beatboxing with them with that group was fucking hilarious too. Yeah, I'll take a blooper real quick.
I was.
I love some good bloopers.
It is a good movie. I mean, I liked all. I don't think I was mad at any of the cast, honestly. Uh, Everybody was pretty funny. It's just the parents. There were that stereotypical shitty, non-supportive parents. They're like, "You're not going to my college? How dare you?" It was the dumbest thing
I've never
ever.
seen that ever. By the way, I know that.
Didn't know that was a USC thing. She wanted to go to Notre Dame. It wasn't like she was like, "Let me go to fucking Whittier Theater College or whatever." Like, I mean, she was still wanting to go to like a top tier fucking school.
I had a real good laugh at the tuba player joke. When he was like, "Why you pick the tuba? Like, nobody. You tell me a man right now living his gold. You tell me any person living their golden life that plays the tuba.
Just name one. Just name one."
He's like, nobody ever said, and on the tuba we have. You're not getting introduced. I was like, that's a good joke.
Yeah.
And then
what I found them ragging on his music.
What I found funny is like he goes off and is making music at the school. I guess because that's where all the instruments are. And you find out, like, oh man, he can play a lot of instruments really well. Like, he's really talented. So why are we pushing the tuba be in here? Like it's like this hip hop beat that sounds real good, and then it's like, I'm like, why are we adding this?
It's his love, man.
I guess
it's that 808. It's put
shout out
in
to Gambino on Andre 3000 being in the music class for whatever reason.
What
like
on the wall? Oh, on the wall.
Yeah.
I was like, were they in this movie somehow and I missed it? Because that would really have been devastating to me. I'm gonna rewatch it right now.
I liked Josh, the reporter on the streets.
I hated the girl. I don't know what it was she was doing with her face, but it just felt like someone that's never been on TV before and like was
that's
just
what made it funny.
Maybe it was supposed. Man, I'm like, I did laugh at her multiple times. I did laugh at her multiple times, but it was like she just was so cringy. But maybe that was on purpose.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, because that's how anybody who hosts those shows are, right?
That's fair.
She's in Ghosts, that show on CBS, where they own a big mansion.
Yes, okay, yes.
That's what got you, not the title Ghost,
not the title of it.
Mansion.
Yeah, 100%. Look, I said, hey, let's watch the Genie movie with Melissa McCarthy. You're like, what's the name of it? Genie. I don't know. The names don't mean anything anymore. Okay, they're not trying. It's a show about a bunch of ghosts. Ghost.
Yeah, I found them pretty entertaining. He was like, "Somebody recorded this. Look, I'm on TV." And he starts like dancing and shit. I'm like, such a fucking idiot.
If Santa they did this bit where Santa goes down and he's like pointing at houses, and that's when the lights are supposed to come on. If Santa sees that, like, I plug it in and someone says, "Man, you didn't pay your electric bill," and then Santa tries to point at me again, I'll break that fucking finger off. You can take that finger, shove it up your ass. I'm dealing with some shit right now, Santa. Those lights will come on when I want.
Santa, give him another chance. He didn't do it right.
It just, oh man, I like the Matrix house. It was so weird. It was so weird. They passed a sign that said "Comparison is the thief of joy." They passed it like 6 or 7 times in town, which was pretty much the theme of this movie. Was, stop comparing yourself to other people.
But how do you feel about blow up decorations?
I love them. I have a blow up fucking Frosty the Snowman holding the Whataburger sign.
So you're part of the problem.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, I love them. I don't have too many. Across the street, those guys have one perf every there's only a foot separation between each one, and it's all the way around their whole house because they're on a corner. My daughter loves it.
Some people really dig into it. And what's funny is I feel like the true Christmas people, I just don't understand them. I just don't. Like, don't get me wrong. I think everything's pretty.
Yeah.
I don't hate it, but these people who are like, time to fucking get down, I don't get it. But like I've watched those Christmas
Yeah, the
tree
decoration ones.
show, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
where they go to different people's houses. Some of the people fucking hate the
Crazy.
gloves, like passionately,
Oh
which I think
yeah.
is funny.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right? It's usually anywhere between $20 and $60 for my kid to be super pumped. There's some random fucking character in my front yard.
Yeah.
I got Jack Skellington for year round now. Why that's the case? You won't even watch Nightmare Before Christmas, but that's the character.
So let's talk about how'd you feel Eddie Murphy did? How'd you like the dad?
It was fine. It is
Did you ever-
better than some of his roles.
Did he give you a yeah? Well, he's done a lot of roles.
Yeah.
Did he give you? Did he have a favorite scene for him that he gave you?
Give a favorite scene. It was both like one of my least favorite. I liked him in it, but like I also hated what was going on when they were arguing with the scout. Like it was the dumbest thing ever. But like also,
Yeah.
I think that was how a parent like that would definitely act.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I liked that all the kids are named after Christmas things, and
That was cute.
yeah, and the kid was like, "Wait a minute, are we all named after Christmas things?" Only because
You know what?
Pentatonics is singing it.
It wasn't obnoxious enough to not realize it. As soon as I met Joy, I was like, "Oh, okay, they're all named after." Like it didn't. It wasn't much more after that. I don't even remember the son's name.
I don't either. The wife's name was Carol, so she was like, "Oh, it's your dad's idea." I just want to point out she's also a part of this whole thing.
Right.
She's a part of the problem.
Nick.
Mm,
That's what I'm saying. Like they're not
no.
obnoxious. That's not like fucking Christmas tree Carver.
Evergreen.
Also, her name was so close to Carol Danvers. I kept looking at it.
Carol Carver. Yeah, that's fair. I mean,
If I had to say anything I hated about this movie, I hated Nick Offerman in this. I hated
I
him.
did, and I love him
so much.
It's so tough.
This wasn't it for me.
I just
Like
okay.
At all.
So at the very end, right? Santa also brings back all of super quickly. Someone's like, "Can you do something about these other little figurines?" And Peppermint's like, "No, you can't have them. They're mine. I won them fair and square." And Santa Claus looks and goes, "Well, with a little bit of like a childhood Christmas wish," and nobody said anything after that. There was no acknowledgement of like that was the wish. All of the figurines jumped out of her hands and smashed themselves on the ground. I would have loved for it to have been like, "That's it,
into itty bitty pieces."
that's it." But they all came back to life.
I was so when they got changed, they changed into like Christmas clothes, except for Nick Offerman. When I was watching this, I was under the impression that he had been like this for years, and was like from a different time in the era.
He was.
Okay, so
yeah,
he just gets to live now.
Yeah.
What's he doing for Social Security numbers?
Yeah. Here's the better, like, it's from another country. He doesn't understand what's going on, and the thing that they left him was what are you gonna do? He goes, "I guess I'll travel around." Like, you couldn't have offered the dude, like, I don't know, a cot in your garage for a week or something to figure life out, because he just came back to life from hundreds of years ago.
I don't even feel like it was like, "I guess I'll travel around." They were like, "It's good to be with family, right?" And then they just turn around.
Yes. They like straight just cold shouldered him, and then he shows up the next day. That's how you know he's from real old time. He just shows up with a dead ass duck, because you don't show up with nothing. But he showed up with that duck and that box of wine.
That dead ass fucking duck. I think, although I hated it was just the worst accent.
It's
Although I
it's
hated that,
so bad.
my by far angriest scene
So bad.
was at the track meet when that guy bumped into Joy, who's running track and trying to impress the scouts. And she goes to reach for that ring and she misses it. And he goes, "You got no drip," and flipped away.
He did.
I was like,
It didn't
what?
make sense. Didn't make sense. Apparently, it's a TikTok right now. He's like, I saw that clip on a TikTok that was like real or like popular right now. And she goes, I had no context. I didn't know what I was watching. And she goes, I'm still as confused, but
The what? Okay. Why
hey,
does he speak
it's
like
hip.
this? Right, but he's supposed to be like an old ornament thingy.
It's hip, bro. Did you see them? They have drip.
They were pretty.
They have Riz for the yacht.
They were real pretty men, all of them. Yeah. The son, I enjoyed his like. It's another angry scene for me. Is like it's like music, but math. I was like, if you don't
He
shut up
said
with that shit.
I flashed to fucking. I know you don't watch The Office as much, but I feel like you know it enough. There's a scene where they're making fun of Kevin because he doesn't understand math and he's an accountant. And then they're like, he says something about how like, oh, there's only so many pies left. And he's like, well, that means only this many or so pies for each person. And someone's like, quick, do another problem. And they give him math and he's like, I don't know. And then do you carry the 7 or, and they're like, what about in pie? And he suddenly knows the answer. And that's what I thought of. Yeah, because he's like, it's like math, but or it's like music, but math, and I'm like, no.
The other part of was like where they were like, we have 5 rings. He was like, I mean 35. Yeah, he was like, I'm like a math genius, and fucking Tracy goes, no, sweetie, like, you're not. Like, okay, so he can multiply and subtract now, and you're like, you ready to take your next? You ready to make that?
I want to point. Yeah, I want to point out that that's the kid that they were convinced was doing really well in math, and I'm like, I mean, you see the signs, guys.
You don't know your kid.
Yeah, you don't know.
Hey, are you allowed to just drink on the street like that, like they were doing for their Christmas party?
In California, no, unless there's a license. There's only very few places that you're allowed to do.
Will the permit get you that ability?
You could, yes,
to just drink on the street.
Yes, you can have a permit, and I think you can drink like beer and wine, not like hard liquor. But like, I think you can have a permit for like a block party and be able to do so.
Yeah,
because like they have like different. Not that you really want this, but like they have different events that you can go to and then drink outside.
So we get to the end of this, and the dad gets to see Nick play music, and he's like, "All right, yeah." I'd have been like, "Hey, there's no fucking time for that. I'm gonna turn into a little ornament, but whatever." And then this lady's gonna get hit in the head by something, and Joy, the track star, goes, "Look out!" and moves right out of the way, and she's like, "You're really fast. Here's my card. I am a scout for this school. Convenient that you saved me." And I don't think the little girl got to do much.
That's the same college that Michael Jordan went to.
Meant to be
North Carolina Tar Heels.
Yeah. This movie at the end really just like, we gotta wrap this shit up.
It did feel rushed. Because they added a random twist to it that they didn't need to add. It was like, we gathered all 5 rings, and they're like, I didn't say just 5.
Also, I don't know that I realized you sing that verse fucking 12 times. Who's doing that? Not in my face, you're not.
And so then they had to get 40 rings instead of just 5. And so the last 5 minutes of time before that's supposed to be at the end is like them scrambling to get more bird. How'd you feel about the twist at the end?
The third twist. I was thinking, thank God that they don't like silver,
Hmm.
because then I'm just an ornament now, a little figurine.
Fair enough.
At the very end of the movie, they've only got 38 rings, and Santa goes, "But what about that ring?" And it's the rings on their finger.
My wife audibly awed. Bro, I'm telling you, she's so hyped about this fucking movie.
I couldn't roll my eyes harder.
Yeah, no, I get it.
So, what that means to me is this extra twist. We didn't even need to do this shit.
No,
I could have just went to one of those like 50-cent machines and kept rocking out gold rings, and I would have just done cool. So this was all nothing. This is all for nothing.
well, it was for
Yeah,
$100,000 in tacos.
Oh yeah. Did you see that they had like the fucking taco shit all over the place?
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, I guess that
yeah,
makes sense.
100%.
Also, to be fair, well, one, he said he like, yeah, I hate tacos. But I mean, I guess it's saving me some money. So
It's gonna save you
and there's other
$100,000 in
things,
tacos.
not just tacos.
It when it started showing that, I wanted you to know when it started showing all the. It was because at one point the newscaster was like, "Oh, it's actually $100,000 worth of things." I wanted it to be one of those fucking entertainment books. You remember those when we used to peddle those in sports, and it was like you paid $30, but you're gonna save thousands. And I wanted.
I paused it and read a couple of them. A couple of them were funny. It was like $5 off of fucking Applebee's entree and shit, and like just stupid stuff. I'd like to talk about Chris Red because he's my favorite part of the whole movie.
He's the best character in this movie. Yeah, absolutely.
He gave so many lines that I just laughed every time this man said anything. Like when he kidnapped them from the creepy underpass store and took them to the house, he goes, well, is this where we just came from, but like cheaper or like, what is? I can't even remember. Is this a broken version of where we came from?
Yeah.
I was like, God damn it! And then flirting with his wife, and when him and his wife were in bed kissing, and she was like, "I love you." He's like, "I love you too." He's like laying there. He's like, "I love both y'all." And then he says, "How strange about to get in here?" Like, oh man,
they did allow him to just be him, and I appreciated that.
That's what you do when you cast someone like that,
right?
You just let them do them, and it's going to be great.
Yeah, 100%.
He was by far my favorite part of that whole movie.
I feel like Jillian, the person that played Pepper, was really going for something in this movie. And I don't know that she got it. I don't know that she hit it. But she really was going for something. You know what? I think that was my favorite time. The second time that Eddie Murphy gets scared by her and he just lectures her about how she can't scare him like that. I don't know why, but Eddie Murphy made me laugh when he did that. But yeah, it was she was a character, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's not normally a character.
Mm-hmm.
And Good Burger, she's the same person that she is in every other movie I've ever seen.
I think that's the character, right? She's one of those, like, when you want this character in your movie, you pick her. She was in something different where she really leaned into it that I didn't necessarily hate.
Right, yeah, I didn't hate it, but also was very just intrigued by...
Very hands. And it was good hands. I don't think it was, like, bad hands.
Gave less of a elf vibe and more of like a leprechaun vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That feels right.
I don't know. It just was.
Are elves just leprechauns?
Yeah.
Anyway. I like when the son did like a simple math problem and was like, "Is this what y'all call calculus?" She's like, "It's multiplication." Fucking idiot. He was in Creed 3.
Was he?
He
I
played-
haven't seen
He
that
played
movie.
little Michael B. Jordan. I thought it was the kid from Are We There Yet with Ice Cube. It is not.
I mean, overall, I think it was a good movie. It was,
Yeah,
like I said, it's my wife's favorite movie. She just texted like 20 people about it to go watch it. So we'll see how that goes. But I mean, I think it was a good movie. It was not one of the worst we've seen, and we've seen a lot of bad ones. It's certainly better than Santa Claus Saves the Easter Bunny. Anything will be better than that.
Fuck. I blocked that out.
Yep. Out of 5 Christmas cookies, how many cookies does it get? I think we've been doing out of 5. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure it's 5.
I think it can have 4.
Yeah, okay.
I'll offer it
I'm
3.
doing
But if
that.
it took 4, I wouldn't be mad at it.
Yeah, I'm not mad at a 4. Like a 3.75 cookie.
I feel like that gives it a really high, like, it's going to be the best thing you see. I don't want to set that expectation for you, but like, I wasn't like, oh my God.
It's not dashing through the snow.
Is it better than
Everything's
Santa
better.
Jaws?
Oh God, Santa Jaws had its own just. It's so beautiful.
Was it better than Falling for Christmas?
Yes, it was funnier than Falling for Christmas. Falling for Christmas had
Falling for
some
Christmas.
moments where I was like, "This isn't terrible," but yeah, no, it's definitely better than
You
that.
gonna watch it again this year?
No,
Thought so.
I've got to watch all the new ones. The Hallmark Channel had a list of all the movies that are there. Like it was just like a date in the movies, right? And it started in like October. And I thought it was just showing you like, hey, here's some of the movies we're coming out with. This is all the new movies, and it was like 40 movies.
Is it better than Jack Snow?
I watched a snowman
Jack
sexually
Frost.
assault.
Jack Frost.
Yeah, I knew. I watched a snowman sexually assault a woman, and I don't know that I'll ever recover from that fully.
Oh, okay. I'll be fair. Let me ask you then. Jingle Jangle. You actually really liked that.
I did really like Jingle Jangle. Is it better than Jingle Jangle? I think Jingle Jangle was more wholesome. Like I think it was more of like a cutesy Christmas movie. I think this one was funnier.
What about when he was like, it's not what you have outside your home, but who's in it?
Yeah, that was dumb. Here's the thing, like he
I
could have
was like,
learned
I
that
get it.
lesson a
He
long time
decorates
ago.
houses for
Yeah,
Christmas.
yeah. But you know what? At the same time, I know people that are obsessed like that, so I get it.
You can go wherever you want to college, and you play music.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
We were gonna do those things anyway.
And his daughter carries the spirit of Christmas everywhere she goes.
Yeah, she really didn't get any.
No,
fucking
she got no
leeway.
development other than his sidekick, his little buddy,
Mhm. Who didn't go to school.
who went in that very expensive vehicle.
You
they were
know I
driving.
have to take you to class, girl. Get out of here with that.
They were in a very expensive vehicle. The Grand
That's why they kept showing it to
Wagoneer.
you.
The Grand Wagoneer starts at $90,000.
That's why they kept showing it to you.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Jeep definitely sponsored this bitch.
Product placement.
Jeep was all over this thing, and I'm like, Jesus. I get it, Jeep. Calm down. And I own
It was
one.
Costco, Target.
Not a Wagoneer.
Did you like the Target joke?
I ain't that fancy. Ooh, I mean, did I miss a Target joke?
Yeah.
What was the Target?
When they
joke?
were going for decorations in the very beginning, and they're like walking aisles, and every time they walk through an aisle, it goes to a different store. He walks on Target, and they already have the Valentine's Day stuff out.
Oh, yeah, I did too.
And the nerve for a Christmas person
Yep, 100%.
to be like, you already passed up my holiday.
Yep.
When you guys are
Christmas
constantly trying to take away from November.
people are
nerve.
the worst.
Anyway, like the video.
Yeah, make sure you guys hit like and subscribe. Comment down below if you guys have any thoughts on this movie. We have one more Christmas movie coming up. Who knows what it'll be? Did I already ruin the surprise? I might have. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. Make sure you check out all our social medias. It's Friendship Supreme everywhere you go. If you want more content, we've got all kinds of content on our YouTube channel, and we also stream live like 4 days a week now on Twitch, where we've been basically
there.
the best gamers that have ever existed.
I heard that too.
If Thanos snapped and removed all of the best gamers that existed currently. Hopefully you guys have a good day. I've been Michael.
This is Cleve.
I blow the candle out. I light the candle. I light the candle. I blow the candle out.
God, man.